Hey everyone, Siervana here. I found an interesting convergence of dates coming up on December 8th, 2015. This will be the day in which Pope Francis will, quote, open the door to an extraordinary year of Jubilee. Now, years of Jubilee are observed every 25 years in the Roman Catholic Church and typically do not coincide with actual biblical years of Jubilee as described in the book of Leviticus. An extraordinary year of Jubilee can be called whenever the Pope wants to call one for whatever reason. This year, Pope Francis called a year of Jubilee for the purpose of evoking God's mercy. Pope Francis will begin the Jubilee of Mercy with Mass, followed by the opening of the door of St. Peter's Basilica as a symbol of ushering in the year of Jubilee, and potentially he will make an extraordinary announcement as well. What can we expect? Well, we don't know at this time. But we do know that over the past few months, there has been increasing dialogue between Vatican astronomers and the SETI Institute, who are hunting for extraterrestrial life in a distant region of the galaxy. Vatican astronomers and theologians have already announced their willingness to embrace the extraterrestrial brother, to baptize the ET alongside humans. One Vatican astronomer proclaimed that humans will look to the aliens to be the saviors of the human race. That is a quote. The start of the Jubilee, December 8th, will fall on the 1000th day of Pope Francis's time in the Papacy. It's also, ironically, the exact day of the 50th anniversary of Vatican II, which many conservative Catholics believe was the point when Roman Catholicism went into a state of apostasy. A former Jesuit who was murdered in 1999, Malachi Martin, strongly opposed Vatican II and believed that this council was a part of Roman Catholicism assimilating into the New World Order. Malachi Martin also made cryptic and highly unusual statements in some of his radio interviews, in which he claimed that the final pope would be under the direct control of Satan, and that Luciferians had infiltrated the Vatican and planned to openly enthrone Lucifer to rule for 1,000 years.
Amongst Luciferian organizations, there is a prophecy that if they can invade the citadel, and that's their name for the Vatican, they will have power for 1,000 years.
How close are they?
Very close.
This is a man who had a huge amount of inside knowledge and openly spoke out against the actions of the Jesuits inside the Vatican and the direction of the Vatican following the Council at Vatican II. So on the 1000th day in the Papacy, Mario Bergoglio will open the door in an attempt to usher in God's mercy. Are we expecting an extraordinary announcement? Are we expecting something is coming on this day or around this time period? It's too early to tell. We don't have enough evidence, but it is unusual that we're seeing a convergence of these numbers.